What's cracking? It's Lil Eazy E, Prince of Compton, and you're listening to Breaking Records Radio.
What's up? This is Derek.
Jamie Madrock.
Man, this your man's Obi Trice.
This is I
Yo, what up? This is Spex One.
This is Spesh K.
Hot Rocks, the motherfucking Skot MC.
Breaking
Records Radio out here.
This is Breaking Records Radio.
Check him out.
Well, I heard that track too. It was on Waist Deep.
This Ain't a Game.
Yeah, I heard that, and I heard the voice come on, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then looked it up, and I'm like, Lil Eazy E, absolutely, that's Lil Eazy E. Ran to Maloney, and I'm like, you gotta listen to this. And then found Lil Easier Said Than Done, Boys in the Hood 06, 07.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna be my dude. This is the Prince of Compton, man. Like, this is a rebirth of a generation.
Yeah, because he always idolized Eazy-E too, like huge.
Yep. So he's still doing it, man. I'm working on an EP now. This Canada tour took a little time away from me. But
I was actually just gonna ask you.
Took a little time away from me. When I get back home, as soon as I land from Toronto, I'm going straight to Compton. So I'm gonna do a little Instagram for people to see the garage, which was being built as I was on tour, and just finishing up my own personal studio, which is my father's studio when he started n.w.a. in my house in Compton.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm doing that, and that just gave me more inspiration. So I finally do an EP titled Yellow Brick Road to Compton. And I have a mixtape with my brother, which is my father's other son, and our group, which is my father's nephews and stuff. We call it Compton Money Gang. So we're going to do a mixtape first, and then we're going to shoot an EP with it, and we have visuals with it, visuals with every song, kind of like a movie setup for all the fans that were, anticipated to like, wow, what happened? And basically, again, on this tour, we basically just do the old school Boys in the Hood tour, but it's just a campaign for individuals to know, hey, wow, he can perform. Wow, he can represent his legacy. Now let's see what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's my plan.
And that's kind of what I was going to ask too, because you said you got into the game to represent your dad's legacy, and then with what I had seen from different footage from the tour and stuff, I seen that you had been performing a lot of the classics, right? So that's actually what I was going to ask. Was that the whole idea, going on tour with Yella and stuff?
Yeah. It's just a blessing.
Hold the torch.
Yeah, it's just a blessing, really. So, and it kind of worked in a weird way, because more so, Yella just got back into DJing, and then the movie kind of refurbished the whole legacy, and it sold the albums. n.w.a. albums sold more than they did when my father was alive. So you got, like you just said, quoted earlier, same thing I tripped off of when I did Australia tour last year with Yella and the UK. We did the UK, Australia, Korea, Vietnam, Kuala Lumpur, and we did all kind of places doing the same tour that we're doing here, and basically still continuing this. And when I go in the club and I'm looking and I'm like, wow, so kids coming up to me and it's like, man, your father was the best. I'm like, wow, cool. How old are you? Like 18, like, wow, like, you weren't even born when my father passed away.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, whoa, you know what I mean? And it shocked me. And then I told my brother, and I got home, I said, wow, bro, you know what? These kids has never seen Pops besides what they see on this TV. And the only experience, like, and I give appreciation to the fan love to when they say, hey, I never would ever in my life get to see Easy, but I'm glad I came closest to seeing him. And now they want to introduce themselves to who I am. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you took that legacy. And I said, hey, it just kind of fell that way. We didn't plan for it, because Yella just did it just to get back in the groove because the movie came out. And that is my plan and my goal. And it just so happened we coincide. Like, hey, I'm going to go, and we just, fuck it, we're just going to do all your pop songs and introduce you to the world of who you are and what you're trying to do. And I'm still DJing. And sure enough, that's what happened. And it kind of went hand in hand to sitting there kind of like a, what you call like a preview of what, of what I turned myself into wanting to do. I just want to represent a legacy, and now it's like, hey, you represented it, and to these kids, it's the only thing they're going to see.
Yeah.
Besides me and you guys, you feel what I'm saying? We grew up to the music, you feel what I'm saying? We understood it. These kids grew up just to, the legacy itself, not the individual, you feel what I'm saying? And like they say, you're the closest thing to it, so I kind of take that drive and use it as ammunition to sit here and give them what they want.
And even still with our generation, we would have been too young back in the day too. Your father would have passed away when we were 6 or 7
I'm
years
saying,
old.
But at least you was alive. Your parents could tell you about it. So much of these kids just really just picked it up and was like, wow, you know what I mean? Some got introduced to it from their parents, but to think like, whoa, kid, like wow, Pops was gone, 23 years and you 18, you know what I mean? You weren't even thought of.
Yeah.
Your parents was partying still, you know what I'm saying? They were still young, you feel what I mean? And to think like, man, you weren't thought of at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 5, 6 years after my father passed, you know what I'm saying? His music is still touched, and finally, you know, these kids got to understand for years and years and generations on. So again, I feel like milestones was touched. Like, you know what I mean? You got a young generation that, you know what I mean? It's really just, it should have been just washed away, and now they like, wow, that's my favorite rapper. Whoa, okay, that's good. You know what I mean? Now we doing what we doing. Now we supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
And that was a huge thing when I was growing up in high school too. Like Eazy E was always my favorite rapper. People used to call me Eazy B.
His nickname to me is Lil Eazy.
That's
Eazy
right.
B was always the dude that, and I used to wear a Compton hat and Lokes that said Eazy E on the side and a big chain, and it was the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen because a white dude from Brantford, Ontario,
That's
obviously doesn't have a whole lot in common with your dad, but like that's what I mean. Like touching his music, it touched me. Just being the shorter guy, like with his tracks, talking about it doesn't really matter how big you are. Anybody that fucks with you, fuck with them back. It doesn't matter.
Real talk. Little big man.
Yeah,
little
exactly.
big man compliment. Yeah, that's what Pops. That was Pops, man. That was his motto, and that's his reputation and respect in Compton. The little motherfucker you don't fuck with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, so it's just good, man. And like I say, I use it as like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? We done touched like half the world. You know what I mean? And let them know who I am, what I wanted to do. Now, if you want to say or continue this journey, I can let you know about myself.